Now, I want you to think about the last time things started working out for you. Not at the beginning when it was just an idea, but when it actually started picking up serious momentum. You probably know the feeling, that feeling of that tightening in your chest, the hesitation, the anxiety building, just the pure knowing that your life is going to change from here on out. Because if you've ever had that moment, or you're currently experiencing that moment, then this video is for you. Now, most people call this a fear of success, but it's not actually the success that scares you. Why would you be afraid of success? What you're actually afraid of is the version of you that success demands. Because yes, success does give you the freedom, but it also asks for responsibility, leadership, consistency, and visibility. And if you've ever wondered why you sabotage momentum without meaning to, I'm going to explain exactly why that happens. Here's what we're going to unpack. First, why this fear shows up only when you're close. Second, how it disguises itself as either procrastination, distraction, or needing more clarity, or not right now. Right now is not the right time. And third, how to step into responsibility without losing your creativity, without losing your softness, and without losing your sense of self. And there's one part near the end of this video that most creators never consider. But once you hear it, you'll never be able to unsee it. Now here's how fear of success actually shows up. You start strong, you've got momentum, you've got that energy, you've got motivation, you've got everything in your corner backing you. But then you fade. You gain that traction, but then you hesitate. You get clear about what you want, but then you start overthinking everything. Or you're so close and then you start feeling tired, distracted, and unsure about what you're doing. And what's important here is this. All of that stuff I just said never happens at the beginning. It happens when success stops being a hypothetical and it actually starts becoming true. When it starts asking something real of you. Now, what your nervous system is actually responding to is that success removes the safety of potential. You can't hide behind it'll happen one day anymore. You can't say, I'm still figuring it out. You can't rely on the chaos or the last minute pressure. Success says, are you willing to lead yourself now? And that's not a skill problem. That's an identity shift. Now, every level of success asks you to release an old version of yourself. And it's usually the version that avoids responsibility, thrives in chaos, stays in planning mode, the information hoarder mode, which is what I see a lot of people in these days, especially the coaches online, hides behind potential and feels safe being almost there. And I have lived in those shadows for way too long. The almost there shadow. Thinking that I was like, almost there. I would tell everyone I was almost there. Oh yeah, it's coming around. It's happening. It's doing its thing. Realizing that I was never saying, yeah, I'm doing the thing. It's only just recently that I've actually started saying, yeah, I'm doing the thing. And whenever I say that, there is a big, it's like almost an excitement. But at the start, it was a very anxious feeling that I got when I said, yeah, I'm doing the thing. Because it was moving into, oh, you're successful now. You are moving into your success. It wasn't I'm going to do the thing anymore. It's I'm doing the thing. A lot of the time, the ego keeps us stuck by saying we're almost there. And we don't see it because it keeps us comfortable. Because there's a version of you that is holding you back. And as I said, it's comfortable. It's familiar. So you get used to it. So you agree with it. Because letting it go feels like a real loss. And it's something that has to be grieved. Now, here's a little reframe for you. Is that this fear doesn't mean that you're incapable of success. It means that you're approaching a threshold. It should make you excited. You're almost there. Actually, let's not say you're almost there. You're knocking at the door. You're saying, success, let me come in. The people who aren't meant to lead won't actually feel this at all. So if you're feeling it, congratulations, you're a leader. The people who aren't capable of responsibility don't feel this tension. So congratulations, that means you are capable of responsibility. If you feel it, it means a more grounded version of you is starting to come online. Doesn't that excite you? So the question becomes, how do you become someone who can hold success without forcing yourself into someone that you don't recognize? And this is where most advice gets it wrong. And this is where we need to start to slow the fuck down. Step number 1 is practice responsibility before you start scaling it. You don't step into leadership all at once. You practice it in small, safe ways. One promise, one commitment, one weekly rhythm, one little thing that you say you're going to do. In a previous video, I was talking about part of building integrity is just doing what you say you're going to do. So this is part of that. say you're going to do something and then do it. Just keep stacking those numbers up. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. If you have no intention of doing that thing, do not say you're going to do it. I know the people pleasing and the pressure to say yes and all of this stuff can get in the way. But as soon as you give that power over to somebody else and you say you're going to do something and you have no intention of following through, you are only fighting a losing battle. You lose every single time. So you got to start saying no. If you have no intention of doing that thing, say no. Doesn't matter if you hurt their feelings. Got to start being a little bit more selfish. Step number 2, separate leadership from perfection. Leadership isn't about having it all figured out. Fuck no. If you're a leader and you show the bumbles and stumbles and all of the mistakes and you make it look real, people warm up to you way faster. More and more people are starting to tap into energetics now. And so they can feel the inauthenticity from a leader. They can feel when someone's being fake. They can feel when someone's like forcing a certain persona onto themselves. So just be yourself. Be your authentic self in any moment. But I don't like the word authentic because I feel like it's been overused and like become this weird thing. Being authentic like doesn't mean like be yourself and all this stuff. It's like just show up as you in any given moment. Whatever masks you're wearing, show up as that. Whatever mood you're in, show up as that. But don't change yourself in the moment for anyone else. I feel like that's what being authentic is. And also with separating leadership from perfection, it's about being willing to take responsibility for the next step, even when you're learning. Because perfectionism is just fear dressed up as standards. Step number 3, stop doing this alone. Identity shifts are almost impossible in isolation. Community is everything these days. When you're around other creators also stepping into the next version of themselves that can hold success and is capable of holding success, your system relaxes because you're around like-minded people who are doing the same thing, who are doing the same shit. There's a camaraderie in moving through this together because it is a difficult one to step through. And this is why accountability and community matter so much. Step number 4, let success change your structure, but not your soul. Success doesn't ask you to become harder or louder, when a lot of the time that's exactly what we think it is. Success asks for structure, boundaries, consistency, and self-trust. You don't lose yourself in this process. You actually stabilize yourself. You're more sure of yourself. You show up more with that integrity that I talked about in a previous episode. Now, here's the thing that I promised earlier, which is the part that most creators never really consider. The fact that success shouldn't change who you are. It doesn't change who you are. It removes the hiding places that kept you from fully becoming yourself. The fear was never about losing you. It was about meeting you. So if this landed, if you recognize yourself pulling back right before momentum hits, and if you realize it's not a fear of failure, but a fear of responsibility, then subscribe to this channel. This channel is for the creators wanting to step into their responsibility, wanting to step into the next version of themselves. It's about stepping into leadership without abandoning your creativity, without abandoning your softness, without abandoning your humanity. And if you want support while you cross into this version of yourself, then join the school community below. We've got structure in there. We've got accountability in there. We've got co-working sessions in there. You've got a community of people, of creators who are also doing the thing. It's a space where you can build and connect with other creators. You're standing at the edge of becoming right now. And let me, my community, help you get there.